Hi everyone, my name is Felice and I'll be representing PERMIAS National to moderate the session. Here with me today is Ibu Yenny Wahid. How are you, Ibu?
Hi Felice, how are you? Happy Independence Day to all of you, not just to Felice, but to all of you who are viewing this event.
Happy
And Dirgahayu Republik Indonesia ke-75.
Happy Independence Day as well, Ibu. So now let's go to the questions. Ibu Yenny is currently entitled as a child defender by UNICEF because of all the works and the impact that she made towards the community. Ibu, what do you think are the most important values to withhold as a leader and as an influencer in the humanitarian issues or in general?
Okay, Felice. But before I begin, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. And I think it is very amendable for you guys, especially young generations, the millennials, to stage this kind of event, to keep on trying to inspire others by having conversations and learning from one another, and to be driven by the spirit of igniting Indonesia. So I just want to say congratulations for all the panitia, for all the organizers of this event, for such a wonderful event. And thank you for having me here. So in answering your question about the quality of leaders that I think is very important, that we would like to see more in the world, is actually the intention of the leader to put the society's benefits more beyond his or her own benefit. So the intention to work for others, the intention to utilize his life, every one of us is given the same amount of life, which is, we're here for a purpose, and that leaders understand that they are here to achieve certain purpose, and that purpose is by creating, better conditions for others. I think if a leader has that kind of intention, the willingness to work for others, the intention to serve others, the understanding that we are just instruments of God, because I'm a believer. So we are here to achieve a certain purpose in life, and that purpose is linked to other people's existence in life as well. So I think to answer your question in short, leaders' quality, the main quality of leader is to serve others, the willingness to serve others.
I think that's really great, Ibu. I really think that it's something that we all could learn. Now, Ibu, I'm confident that the audience know who you are, your activities, and your achievements. But what is the biggest change that happened in your life and shaped who you are today?
Yeah, well, I don't know about whether the audience actually know me. They might know my father, but I don't think I have the pretense to actually believe that I'm that known to many people. But I'm quite privileged in a sense that I'm born with the last name of Wahid, so people might know me as Gus' daughter, and so that gives me a certain advantage in life. That there's something that I am more than happy to admit, but it also brings certain burden, of course, on my shoulder, and something that I have to treat very carefully, something that I have to utilize. It's a privilege that I have utilized for the greater benefit of the society. And so what was the question again, Felice? So forget.
What was the biggest change that happened in your life?
Yes. So the biggest change that happened in my life is when I broaden my perspectives, when I start getting to know people from my own community, getting to know people from different nationalities, from different race, from different religious backgrounds, and especially when I travel abroad, and when I work with people from different nationalities, and when I study abroad. So member of PERMIAS, so now studying abroad, I think we all could agree that this is a life-changing experience. The very action of being abroad, to actually live abroad and just reading about it is very different. You know, you cannot read about experience, you have to experience it yourself. So for me, that was the most life-changing experience, is to get out of my comfort zone, you know, because when we are in different setting, we're not by our parents, by our families, you know, if we fall, someone will pick us up. If we are hurt, someone will bring us to the doctor, etc. You know, we don't go hungry. But when we live abroad, especially when you live alone, you have to rely on yourselves. You have to rely on your own wits. You have to rely on your own gut. You know, you have to make decisions for yourself and to face consequences for all the decisions that you make. And I think that's a very, it's a tremendous, I think, experience that if anyone could do that, I would recommend we could do that. So I think students that before in Indonesia were quite manja, but when they went abroad, you know, they had to become independent. They have to rely on themselves. So I would say that is the most life-changing experience for me.
I think I could relate to that, Ibu, being one of the students who study abroad. And also we have to be open-minded and network with other people, because we could learn a lot of things from other people as well.
Absolutely.
The audience might not know this, but you're actually an award-winning reporter in Australia. And not to mention, you had a graduation speech in Harvard when you graduated there. Isn't it quite tempting, actually, to stay in those countries with all of the achievement that you have? What's your motivation to come back to Indonesia and contribute to improve the society?
Well, actually, when I did when I had the chance to become a graduation speaker, that was driven by the intention to make my parents happy. So at the Harvard Kennedy School, there was a competition, speech competition, that if a student wins that competition, he or she will become the speaker for the graduation week. So I really wanted to make my father proud and my mother proud. So I wanted to, for them to know that their daughter actually achieved something while studying abroad. So I dared myself to enter the competition, and I didn't expect that, but I actually won the competition. And then I became the speaker for the graduation week, the commencement week, we call it, at the Harvard Kennedy School. And I was the first Indonesian student in my campus to have won that. But then since then, 10 years later, a friend of mine, Ana Winoto, also won the competition. And then after that, there are many Indonesian students who actually followed suit. So I'm very happy that there are many students from Indonesia who had similar achievements and who probably have made their parents happy as well and proud. So anyway, despite having succeeded, in achieving something, for me it was really something. But I knew that my place is in Indonesia. I knew that even with Harvard degree, and also if I had chosen to work in Australia and to continue working for the Sydney Morning Herald, maybe I could get ahead in my career. But I knew that my calling is still my country. That I feel like even if we succeed abroad, but if our fellow countrymen and countrywomen are still suffering, then it won't be the same. So for people like us, I think for Felice and for me, we are privileged people. We have the privilege of higher education. We have the privilege of actually going abroad for study. We have the privilege of experiencing different cultures that broadens our perspectives in life. And we have the privilege of understanding different way of life. And that perspective, that skill that we achieve through our higher education is, I believe, is something that we need to bring back to our country and to contribute to our country and to contribute to the development of our country. And so that's why it was an easy decision for me to make, to come back. Of course, I wanted to prolong my stay in the US, in Boston. Boston is such a nice city as well, despite the weather, you know, during the winter is quite excruciating, but it's a nice city. It's a nice city, and you know, in the fall, it's beautiful with the leaves and everything, leaf changing and beautiful colors, you know, to autumn. But I had to go back. I had to go back and serve my country in whatever capacity I have, and it doesn't have to be through government positions. You know, there are two types of leaders: the formal leaders and the informal leaders. The formal leaders are the ones who hold official positions. They are elected because they are there to carry through with the aspirations of the people who elect them in the first place. They are the presidents, the governors, the mayors, the kepala desa, etc., the members of parliaments. Those are the formal leaders. They are responsible for the policy formulations, the public policy formulations that will affect a great deal of the way our lives will be run. But they are also the informal leaders. The informal leaders are the people who have big sway and influence over the society. They are the religious leaders, they are the student leaders, they are the artists, the influencers, they are the chefs, they are entrepreneurs, etc. Those are the informal leaders that also have a lot to contribute to our society. So I would encourage all of you who happens to be studying and mulling over the decision whether you want to go back or you want to stay where you are now, eventually do come back, because you are an informal leader that we need to better our country. Your skill is what we will need to use to better develop Indonesia so that we can achieve our position as a great nation in the world.
I agree, Ibu. I think everyone who studied abroad, whether it's America or in other countries, we all have a purpose and a reason why we were sent abroad.
Yes.
So currently you're the director of the Wahid Institute. It has been said that women leaders would not only empower families, but communities and economies. How has the Wahid Institute encouraged and supported girls and women to become future leaders or participate actively in the society?
Okay. I think you're correct in saying that gender empowerment will have a great impact in the society. In fact, when you empower women, you create a much safer and a much healthier communities. Not only that, but you're also creating a more economic benefits for the whole communities as a whole. In fact, the statistics shows that when you give a chance for women to be in corporations, for example, when 30% of women are in leadership position in companies, then the said companies will make 15% more profits. So that's how big the impact is of gender empowerment. Yeah. When you empower girls to get more access to education, the same as boys, then the GDP of the country will increase roughly by 4%. Could be more, depends on the country. But that's how big is the contribution of women or empowering women and girls in our society is to our community as a whole. So with that in mind, we set out at our foundation, the Wahid Foundation. It used to be known as Wahid Institute. We set out to empower women more through our program. It's called the Peace Village program. Peace Village program is an initiative that we developed with the UN Women, and it aims to empower women through economic empowerment trainings, as well as to train women in peace building mechanism. So we give them access to economic trainings and economic access to capital, so that they can start their own small enterprises and small businesses. They can have better management of their cash flow, for example, when they have small businesses. And we encourage them to have more say in the decision making in the village. You know, now the government has given lots of money to villages. Roughly one village gets about 1 billion rupiah. So we encourage women to be involved in the decision making of the village and how the money should get spent. Because when women are involved, then there will be more prosperity for the whole community, for the whole village. Women can then nudge the village chief to allocate the money, for example, for programs that better address the issues of women maternity rate, for example, for facilities for children, or for better education. Now, for example, now children have difficulties of accessing online education because they have no quota of internet. So if women are involved, they could pressurize or talk or have a dialogue with their village chief and ask the village chief to spend a bit of money to buy data that can be used for the whole village. So that's how our program at the Wahid Foundation is, empowering women economically, but training them also in women empowerment issues, getting them know their rights, getting them involved in decision-making process in the village, as well as training them in peace-building mechanism, so that if there is any conflict in the village, they are more equipped to deal with that. So there's a conflict prevention mechanism as well. So that's what we do at the foundation.
That's amazing, Ibu. I look forward to more activities from the Wahid Foundation. It's really amazing.
Thank you. And Felice, you know, actually, we are open for volunteers. So anyone who wants to contribute their skills or even just their, time, whatever they have, whatever they want to contribute, more than welcome to join our Peace Village. Recently, the Harvard Club of Indonesia joining and contribute in the building of facilities, small gapura and small like a pavilion, so that villagers can have a small gatherings. And the idea is to nudge them to have more dialogues and to get to know each other better. Of course, during the COVID, it is now on hold. But after the COVID, everything will start again. So I hope that you can join us in this endeavor.
Of course, Ibu. I think the audience will be very interested in it. Right. For the last question, Ibu, the question of the day: what does Indonesia mean to you in a sentence?
Indonesia is my. I'd like to quote this poet. Yeah, he's from Madura. My husband is a Madura, so I have a special affinity to that island because of the connection with my husband. And so there is this poet from Madura. His name is Zawawi Imron, and he wrote this fantastic poem. It's called Indonesia. Indonesia is my praying mat. So Indonesia, this whole stretch of archipelago, is where we're going to be buried. This is a place where we were born, some of us, most of us are born here, and where we were raised, and in which water we drink, and the food that grows from the land we eat. And this is the place where our meat, our body, will unite again, once again, to become the dust of this land. So Indonesia is my land of prayer. This is where I serve my God. This is where I serve my people. This is where I serve my community. That's what Indonesia is to me.
Wow, Ibu, that's really amazing. I think everyone could relate to that as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we have run out of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ibu Yenny, for your time to speak with us today. I hope you have a great time. Happy Independence Day. And I hope you have a great time with your family as well.
Thank you very much, Felice. Happy Independence Day to you all as well. And let's love our country more. And let's do our best to serve our country. Merdeka. Okay, bye.